Today, voters in Portland deciding some major changes to the town school district.
Yeah, the vote could mean spending more than $100 million and changing where your child goes to school. Your reporter Anna Stansfield live from the polls this morning. So, Anna, what do voters need to know?
Well, Tracy, Caitlin, good morning. The polls will open here at 6 o'clock this morning at Portland Middle School, and these voters have a big decision at hand today that could really shake things up in the district here, including closing one of the schools in town. $109 million could soon be coming to Portland Public Schools if locals vote yes today. The proposed changes include some major renovations at Valley View Elementary School. Right now, the school serves pre-K through first grade, but this plan would bring second graders to the school too. Changes would also come to Gildersleeve Elementary. Right now, the school serves second through fourth grade students, and in the proposed plan, it would change to serving third through fifth. The plan also calls for the historic Brownstone Intermediate School, which houses fifth and sixth graders, to close. That's caused controversy in the past, but the plan would allow the town to repurpose the building. Sixth graders would move to the middle school, and some of the $109 million would also be spent on renovations to the roof and heating and cooling systems at the middle and high school. And if you can't hit the polls this morning, they will remain open until 8 o'clock tonight. I'm your reporter live in Portland, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Anna, thank you.